Welcome to this explainer. Today, we are unpacking a truly transformative approach from Clements' book, 30 coaching tools and approaches that actually work. And look, I love this because it is absolutely not about dry academic theory. It's a real-world working toolkit for actual conversations with real people. So let's just dive right in, shall we? Section 1. The stuck coaching conversation. Okay, let's picture a scenario. And I bet you've probably faced this exact thing. You're sitting in a session with a team member, and you have just hit a brick wall. Have you ever been dealing with unclear conversations, a sudden lack of confidence, maybe poor ownership from your team, weak feedback, low trust, or just completely stuck thinking? You're trying intervention after intervention, but literally nothing is moving the needle. It leaves you with this awful uncertainty about how to actually help this person move forward. So what do? We stare harder at the problem, just hoping the solution is going to magically appear. But, well, here is our first major breakthrough today. When we get stuck like this, we tend to put the client under a microscope. We stare harder at them and their immediate issue. But the truth is, the problem actually isn't the client at all. The problem is the lens we're looking through. We don't need to stare harder, guys. We just need to change our perspective. Which brings us perfectly to Section 2, the seven-eyed model. Meet the seven-eyed model. This was originally developed by Peter Hawkins and Robin Shohet, and it is a real game changer. It's widely used in coaching, counseling, and supervision for helping professions. I want you to think of it like a highly advanced camera. Instead of just having a fixed macro lens that's focused entirely on the coachee, this model gives you a menu of 7 different lenses. You can zoom in, you can pan out, and you can look at the entire ecosystem of the conversation. So let's quickly break down what these lenses actually are. Mode 1 is the coachee or client. Mode 2 looks at your interventions, like what have you actually tried doing. Mode 3 examines the coach-client relationship itself. Mode 4 is your own internal experience. Mode 5 is the parallel process, usually with a supervisor. Mode 6 is the supervisor's reactions. And finally, Mode 7 pans all the way out to the wider system context. Now, I know what you're thinking. Juggling 7 lenses seems like a lot to keep in your head. But don't worry, it's honestly just a menu of perspectives, not a rigid mandate you have to memorize. All right, moving on to Section 3. Why this model matters. The absolutely crucial point here is avoiding the trap of what we call the narrow view. If we only focus on the client's immediate problem, we completely miss the bigger picture. We might be trying to solve an issue that isn't even personal to the coachee at all. By adopting the wide view, we start exploring the relationship itself, our own internal reactions as leaders, and the wider organizational system, because sometimes, a lack of trust or a stuck conversation is simply an amplification of wider organizational pressures, or maybe just unclear contracting. This model literally stops us from getting locked into narrow, ineffective problem solving. Okay, Section 4, putting it into practice. So how do we use this? The secret here is shifting lenses dynamically. As Clements notes, you really just let the model sit in the background as a guide. You might start a session and suddenly notice, hey, I'm stuck completely on Mode 1, the client. Well, that's your cue to step back. You ask yourself, okay, what's the relationship like right now? Or what am I noticing in myself? Am I feeling frustrated? And finally, you pan out. Is there a wider system issue shaping all of this? It's just a disciplined, really fluid way of changing your lens to find where the real work actually needs to happen. Let's look at Section 5, pitfalls to avoid. Please, whatever you do, do not use this model mechanically. If you try forcing a conversation through all 7 modes, step by step like a checklist, it's going to feel incredibly clunky and overwhelming for everyone involved. Definitely don't use it just to show off your supervision knowledge, and never ever let the model become more important than the actual learning needs of the person sitting right in front of you. And frankly, as Clements advises, if a simpler tool would work better for the situation you're in, just use the simpler tool, keep it practical. Let's wrap it up with Section 6, results and next steps. I absolutely love this real-world example from the book. Imagine a supervisor or coach, and they decide to tap into their own internal experience. That's Mode 6, as actual data. They say something like, as I listen to you describe this coachee, I notice I'm starting to feel some of the frustration you may be feeling. I wonder whether frustration is present in the coaching relationship as well. And just like that, by safely sharing their own internal reaction, they open up entirely new insights. It completely shifts the conversation away from just fixing the client to exploring the relationship itself. And that directly answers our opening question. The manager or coach takes a dead-end, super frustrating conversation and transforms it into a massive breakthrough simply by panning out and changing the lens. It's brilliant. So as you head into your next one-to-one or team meeting, I want you to ask yourself, which of the 7 lenses are you currently ignoring? And what breakthrough might be waiting if you finally look through it? For more information, head over to clementsconsultancy.com to buy a discounted PDF copy of the book, or head over to Amazon for the ebook or printed version.